Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone, depending on where you may be. Thank you for standing by and welcome to today's Tivoli User Community Webcast. Our topic for today is how IBM helps China Merchants Bank, CMB, on its IT operation analytics. All phones are currently in a listen-only mode, and there will later be a question and answer session with further instructions being given at that time. You may ask a question at any time during the presentation using the chat window located in the control panel. Chat questions will be answered at the end of the presentation with the rest of the Q&A portion. Today's session is being recorded, and you'll be provided a copy of today's materials following the call. Now I'd like to introduce our expert speaker for today. Jerry Yang joined IBM in April of 2001 as a Tivoli client technical professional. Over the years, he has gained experience on IT service management, especially in FSS/COM sector. Jerry, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thanks, Dan. And it's Jerry, and I come from China. And it's my pleasure I can share my customer reference to Tivoli community. Okay, so for the audience, we assume last 4 bank for number 1, 2, 3, 4 is owned by the China government. So for China Merchants Bank, it was owned by some big enterprise, and it's the first big commercial bank in China. And CMB is an industry leader, and he is good in China FSS industry, who is like to embrace the innovative IT technology. So for the China Bank, for the China Merchants Bank, it will want to extend the financial services and provide better service level to their customers. So they like to adopt the new technology, such as the big data and the IT operation analytics, to increase their service quality. Okay, so we can go to the next page. The CMB's business initiative. First, the customer wants to build its capability on the IT operation and the transaction log file to store their for the log file and for the ICAF. And also, as we know, the third-party compliance the customer CMB will to support the IT compliance and the audit process. Also, as we know, in the lots of log file which is stored in different server in CMB's data center, they would like to have the capability to do the real-time alert in the stream model. Okay. Also, when there is some service failure, the customer like to reduce the MTTR, the mean time to repair. So how can we help the customer with intelligent way to find the root cause is also very important. As we know, when we help the customer to collect different data source for the system log file and of course for some transaction log, it's very useful for the customer to find some service failure pattern. Also, or we can call it the log pattern. If we can help the customer identify the log pattern, we can help the customer to identify the different service failure and to provide some alert to let the customer engage in this kind of service failure as much as possible. As we know, in the traditional APM, I mean the application performance management, it's also a big challenge for the customer to manage their transaction in a very exactly way. What I mean is, for the traditional APM solution, we can help our customer to manage their transaction from the IT component view, from the system view, from the HTTP server, JVM, Java Virtual Machine, or the database, different IT component view. But if the customer want really to manage their transaction well, it's not easy to help them understand what's the exact status for their different service. Okay, so we can help the customer to leverage the big data technology to get the exact and very detailed transaction information from their application's transaction log. Okay, and when the customer find some service failure, and we can to find some keywords and to link with the expert advice. Also, as we know, it's if we can help the customer to do some service failure prediction, we can help the customer to fix the potential service failure earlier, and we can help our customer to reduce the business impact if we can help them to do the predictive insight with IBM, some different technology such as the machine learning and some intelligent algorithm. Okay, so from the technical perspective, we can help the customer to do some different work. For example, the customer need to consume their real-time data. For example, their monitoring system, their short message system, and their consolidated event platform. They will try to consume the real-time data. For example, they would like to do the real-time alert and some real-time alert to base on some rules. Okay. For example, if there is some keywords like the critical, like the error, and if we can help them to generate some application KPI, the key performance indicator. If, for example, if the transaction time is more than 10 seconds, so when we help the customer calculate after the transaction KPI, if the value is bigger than 10 seconds, we can help the customer to generate the alert according to the alert rules. Also, we will try to help the customer to do some retrieve the raw log file, especially in the use case for the customer to do the root cause analysis. It's very important for our administrator or application administrator from the LOB, the line of business. When there is some service failure, the customer and the administrator will try to leverage the very friendly user interface to do the root cause analytics. And of course, we help the customer collect complete system log and the application log and the transaction log. So it's possible for our customer can do some offline analytics and to do some report. And what we learn from this kind of offline analytics, it will very useful to do the optimization for the IT service management solution, and maybe to give them input to know how to improve their application system. Okay, so we can go to the next page. It's the what we have done for the CMB, China Merchant Bank, on their IT operation analytics blueprint. We have a 3 weeks workshop and work with our customer, and we work after this. For the collection tier, in CMB, not only IBM solution, there is also third-party solution help the CMB to collect the application performance data. What we will try to do in this project, I mean the project scope is help the customer to do the failure detection and root cause analytics. And of course, we will help the customer to do the performance data collection and baseline calculation. This kind of function is based on IBM log analysis and predictive insight. So go to the upper part, we see the we see the impact analytics and the prediction model. We leverage some different technologies such as the machine learning, and we can have the capability for the PI, the predictive insights, the self-learning on the behavior and the pattern for the application's KPI. And we can also help the customer for the single KPI. We can provide the dynamic baseline. Okay, for the LA log analysis, we can help the customer to collect the semi-structured data and non-structured data. So based on this blueprint, we choose the LA log analysis and the PI predictive insight to help the customer function within their ITOA platform. Okay, so we can go to the next pages for the project system architecture. For the manager object, we use a different monitoring tools. Besides IBM tools, in customer they have the Microsoft tools, the sniffer tools, and the other local vendors solution to monitoring and manage their transaction. And for their different application transaction log file, we will open source based log management system to collect from the almost 2,000 box log file. Okay, and for the analytics function, we can help the customer to build their data manager, and also we will leverage the stream computing technology, and we can help them to do the real-time search. And in the PI, we can leverage the machine learning, offline analysis, and analytics model. So we can provide CMB intelligent analytics platform. We can help them to monitor their service application with exact their service KPI, and we can provide the capability to do the analysis, especially for the root cause analysis. And our local business partner have helped our customer